I'm sitting at my dining room table right now, and I can hear the clock ticking. It's 8:47 p.m. on what's supposed to be the most important birthday of my life. 80 years. 8 decades on this earth. And in front of me sits a cake that cost $237. I know exactly what it cost because I paid for it myself. It's 3 tiers, covered in elegant white fondant, with hand-piped roses the color of champagne. Across the top, in flowing script made of real gold leaf, it says, "Happy 80th birthday, Martha." The bakery owner hugged me when I picked it up this morning. She told me I must have a wonderful family to order such a beautiful cake. I smiled and nodded, because what else do you say? The truth? That I ordered it for myself, because no one else bothered. The house is silent, except for that clock. Tick, tick, tick. Each sound feels like it's echoing through these empty rooms, bouncing off the walls of this 4-bedroom house that I bought 43 years ago. The same house where I raised my son. The same house where my grandchildren took their first steps. The same house that should be filled with laughter and voices and the chaos of family right now. But it's just me, and this cake, and my iPad. Before we go any further, let me ask you something. Does family mean showing up? Not just existing in your contacts list or being connected by blood, but actually being there when it matters. If you think family means more than DNA, if you think it means choosing to show up for the people who've shown up for you, hit that like button right now and subscribe, because what happens next is going to show you exactly what happens when people forget what family really means. I'm scrolling through Facebook on my iPad. My neighbor's daughter, sweet girl, taught me how to use it last year. She said I needed to stay connected. At the time, I thought she meant connected to my family. Now I realize the real connection was learning to see the truth they were hiding from me. My fingers aren't as steady as they used to be. Arthritis. The doctor says it's moderate to severe, but I manage. I'm scrolling past photos of people's dinner plates and their dogs and their political opinions that nobody asked for, and then I stop. My heart stops too. There's a photo, posted 43 minutes ago. It's my son, David. He's 52 years old, wearing Mickey Mouse ears. Next to him is his wife, Caroline, also in ears. Behind them I can see Cinderella's castle lit up in that magical Disney way, all blue and purple and sparkle. My 2 grandchildren, Emma and Jackson, are making silly faces at the camera. They're 16 and 14, old enough to know better, young enough that I want to make excuses for them. But the photo wasn't the worst part. The caption was, "Best week ever, family first making memories, Disney magic, blessed life, family first." Let me tell you about family first. 5 days ago, I called David to confirm the plans for tonight. My 80th birthday. The party we'd been planning for 3 months. I'd made the reservations at Giovanni's, my favorite Italian restaurant. The one where your father proposed to me 56 years ago, David. In case you've forgotten. I reserved the private room. 23 people were supposed to be there. My son and his family. My sister and her family. Neighbors. Friends from my book club. People who've been in my life for decades. "Mum," David said on the phone, and I could hear something in his voice. Something guilty. "I'm so sorry, but we're not going to be able to make it." My stomach dropped. "What do you mean? David? It's my 80th? I know. We all came down with something. Some kind of flu. Caroline's been throwing up all night and the kids have fevers. We're all just miserable. There's no way we can come. We don't want to get you sick." I remember sitting down slowly on the edge of my bed. "Is it serious? Should I come over? I can bring soup." No, don't do that. We're contagious. Just stay away. We'll celebrate when we're better, okay? Maybe next week. I promise, Mum. I'm so sorry." He sounded sorry. He really did. And I'm not a suspicious person by nature. I've lived 80 years believing the best in people. It's served me well, mostly. Kept me from becoming bitter and twisted like some of the women at the senior center who assume everyone's out to cheat them. But I'm not stupid either. After David cancelled, 17 other people cancelled within the next 12 hours. His wife's parents, his wife's sister, the kids' friends' parents who we'd invited because that's what you do. You include the people your grandchildren care about. Everyone had excuses, work emergencies, car trouble, a sick dog. One person said they'd mixed up the dates. By yesterday, The only people still planning to come were my sister Ruth, who lives 3 hours away, and Margaret from next door. I cancelled the restaurant, lost the deposit, but what choice did I have? You can't have a party in a room meant for 23 when only 3 people are coming. The humiliation would have been unbearable. Ruth called me this morning. Martha, I'm so sorry. Harold threw his back out. He can't sit in the car for 3 hours. Can we do a rain check? Maybe I can come visit next month. Your husband has thrown his back out 17 times in the 40 years I've known him, Ruth. It's always convenient timing. So now it's just me. And Margaret brought over a casserole earlier and sang Happy Birthday. But she's 73 herself, and she needs to get to bed early because of her medications. She left at 6. I'm looking at this photo of my son and his family at Disney World, and I'm doing the math in my head. The kind of math you get very good at when you've been paying for everyone's lives for decades. Disney World. A week-long trip for a family of 4. I know what that costs, because I looked it up once when Emma asked if I'd ever been. Park tickets, about $600 per person for a week. That's $2,400. Hotel at a Disney resort, because Caroline only stays at the nice places, probably $300 a night minimum. 7 nights is $2,100. Food, souvenirs, all the extras, add another $2,000 at least. They spent at least $7,500 on this trip. Maybe more, probably more, knowing Caroline's taste for the expensive restaurants and the special experiences. Let me tell you where that money came from. 23 years ago, David and Caroline wanted to buy their first house. They were young, just married, and the down payment was out of reach. I gave them $40,000. Not loaned, gave. I told them to consider it their inheritance early, that I wanted to help them build their life together. 18 years ago, they wanted to move to a bigger house, better school district. I gave them another $30,000 for the down payment. 16 years ago, Emma was born. I set up a college fund, deposited $500 a month for 16 years. That's $96,000. 14 years ago, Jackson was born. Same thing, another $500 a month. That's $84,000. 6 years ago, David wanted to start his own business. It's my dream, Mum. I just need some startup capital. If you could help. I liquidated one of my CDs, gave him $75,000. The business failed within 2 years. He never mentioned paying me back. I never asked. 4 years ago, Caroline's father died, left some debts. I helped them pay off $15,000 worth of credit cards so they wouldn't ruin their credit score. Every birthday, every Christmas, generous gifts. Not just cards with $50 tucked inside. Real gifts. I paid for Jackson's orthodontics when their insurance wouldn't cover it fully. $8,000. I paid for Emma's summer trip to France with her school. $4,500. Last year their air conditioning died in July. I replaced it. $11,000. I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you this so you understand. I have given my son and his family, conservatively, over $400,000 over the course of their marriage. Maybe closer to $500,000 if I sat down and really added everything up. And they couldn't give me one day. They couldn't show up for my 80th birthday. Instead, they lied to me, told me they were sick, and went to Disney World. I'm still staring at the photo. Caroline's wearing a new sundress. I can see the tag on it in my mind. Probably Lily Pulitzer or something equally expensive. David's got a sunburn on his nose. The kids are holding those oversized lollipops that cost $18 each. My hands are shaking now, not from the arthritis, from something else, something I haven't felt in a very long time. Rage. Pure, cold, crystalline rage. I've spent 80 years being nice, being understanding, being the one who gives and gives and gives, because that's what mothers do, right? That's what grandmothers do. You sacrifice, you provide, you make their lives easier. You ask for nothing in return except maybe a phone call once a week and showing up for the important moments. One day, I asked for one day, and they chose Mickey Mouse over me. I'm not crying. I thought I would cry. I thought I'd sit here at this table with this expensive cake I bought myself and weep into my hands like some tragic figure in a movie, but my eyes are completely dry. Instead, I'm thinking very clearly, more clearly than I have in years maybe. I set down the iPad. I stand up slowly, using the table to steady myself. My knees creak. 79 years of wear and tear plus 1 year as of 3 hours ago, but I make it to my feet. I walk to the kitchen drawer where I keep important papers and phone numbers. I pull out 2 business cards. The first one is for Tom's locksmith service. I used them 2 years ago when I locked myself out. Tom is the owner, works 24 hours for emergencies. This is an emergency. The second card is cream-colored, expensive stock, embossed lettering. Patricia Winters, attorney at law, estate planning, trusts, elder law. I met Patricia at a charity luncheon 4 years ago. We've stayed in touch. She sends me a Christmas card every year with a photo of her golden retriever. She helped me update my will 3 years ago, though I didn't change much. Everything went to David, of course. Who else would it go to? He's my only child. Was my only child. Because right now, sitting in this empty house looking at that Facebook post, I don't have a child anymore. I have a stranger who happens to share my DNA and my last name and my money, but doesn't share my values or my priorities, or apparently any sense of basic human decency. I pick up my phone. My fingers are steadier now. Funny how anger can cure a tremor. I dial Tom's number first. He answers on the 3rd ring. Tom's locksmith. This is Tom. Tom, this is Martha Henley. You changed my locks a couple years back when I locked myself out. Mrs. Henley. Of course I remember. How are you? I need you to change all my locks. Tonight, if possible. There's a pause. Tonight? Ma'am, is everything all right? Are you in danger? Should I call the police? No danger. But I need the locks changed before Monday. Can you do it? Another pause. I can hear him thinking, weighing the emergency call fee against whatever he had planned for his Saturday night. I can be there in an hour, but the emergency rate is double time. I don't care about the cost. I need every exterior lock changed. Front door, back door, garage, the side gate, everything. And I need them keyed differently than they are now. Can you do that? Yes, ma'am. I'll be there by 10. Thank you, Tom. I hang up and immediately dial the second number. It rings 4 times. I'm worried it will go to voicemail. It's almost 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. But then Patricia answers. This is Patricia Winters. Patricia, it's Martha Henley. Martha. Her voice warms immediately. How are you? Did you have a lovely birthday today? The question nearly breaks something in me, but I hold steady. I need to change my will. Immediately. I know it's the weekend, but can you help me? Her tone shifts, becomes professional. Of course. Are you all right? Has something happened? I'm perfectly fine. Clearer than I've been in years, actually, but I need the will changed before Tuesday. Wednesday at the latest. Can you tell me what you'd like to change? I take a breath. Everything. I want to change everything. We talk for 40 minutes. Patricia asks questions, makes suggestions. I can hear her typing. She tells me she'll draft something and email it to me tonight, and we can meet at her office on Monday morning to sign it properly with witnesses. Martha, she says before we hang up, and her voice is gentle. Are you absolutely sure about this? These are significant changes. Maybe you should take some time to think. I've had 80 years to think, Patricia. I've never been more certain of anything in my life. After I hang up, I walk back to the dining room. The cake sits there, perfect and untouched, except for the slice I cut for myself earlier. I was wrong about the price. It was $267, not $237. The extra $30 was for the gold leaf lettering. I pick up a fork and eat another bite. It's delicious. Vanilla cake with raspberry filling and buttercream frosting. My favorite. I'm glad I ordered exactly what I wanted instead of trying to accommodate everyone else's preferences, like I usually do. At 9:52 p.m., I hear a truck pull into my driveway. Tom's locksmith is painted on the side in blue letters. Tom gets out. He's about 50, grey beard, wearing work pants and a company polo shirt despite the late hour. Mrs. Henley. He greets me at the door. Show me what you need. I show him. Every lock. He takes measurements, makes notes, goes back to his truck for supplies. This is going to take me a few hours, he warns. You sure you want to stay up? I can work and lock up when I'm done if you trust me. I'll stay up. I want to see it done. He nods and gets to work. There's something satisfying about the sound of a lock being drilled out. the high-pitched whine of the drill, the mechanical precision of taking apart something that was meant to keep people out, or in this case, was meant to let certain people in who I no longer want to have access. David has had a key to this house since he moved out at 24. So does Caroline. So do Emma and Jackson for emergencies. All 4 of those keys are about to become useless pieces of metal. Tom finishes the front door first, installs a beautiful new deadbolt, brushed nickel finish. He hands me 3 keys. This is your set. I recommend you don't make copies for anyone unless you absolutely trust them. I won't be making copies. He looks at me for a moment, and I can see him understanding something. He's probably done this before. Changed locks for people who are locking someone out of their lives. Divorced couples. Estranged families. People protecting themselves from people who should have protected them. He doesn't ask questions, just nods, and moves on to the back door. It's 1:47 a.m. when he finishes. All new locks, all new keys. He hands me a neat set of 4 keys on a new ring, each one labeled with a small tag. Front, back, garage, gate. That'll be $850, Mrs. Henley. I write him a check without hesitation. Add a $200 tip because he gave up his Saturday night to help me. Thank you, Tom. You take care now, he says, and there's something knowing in his eyes, something kind. After he leaves, I lock the new front door deadbolt. The mechanism is smooth, perfectly machined. I can hear it click into place with a sound that feels final. I should be exhausted. It's almost 2 in the morning, and 80-year-old bodies aren't meant to be awake at this hour, but I feel energized, alive, more awake than I've been in years. I go back to the dining room and eat another piece of birthday cake. Then I open my iPad and do something I've never done before. I go to David's Facebook post with the Disney photo, the one that says, "Family First," and I leave a comment. Looks like you're all feeling much better. So glad the flu cleared up so quickly. Happy you could make such wonderful memories. The cake emoji feels petty. I like it. I don't wait to see if he responds. I shut off the iPad and go upstairs to bed. I sleep better than I have in months. Sunday passes quietly. I eat leftover cake for breakfast. I go to church, where people wish me happy birthday, and I smile and thank them. Margaret comes over in the afternoon and we have tea. She doesn't ask about my family and I don't offer information. That evening, my phone rings. David. I let it go to voicemail. It rings again 20 minutes later. Caroline this time. Voicemail. Emma tries to FaceTime me. I decline the call. By Monday morning, I have 14 missed calls and 23 text messages. I don't read them. What is there to say? They made their choice. Now I'm making mine. At 10 a.m., I'm sitting in Patricia Winter's office. She's laid out the new will on her desk. It's 23 pages long, very thorough. I want to make sure you understand everything here, Martha, she says, going through it page by page. You're removing David as primary beneficiary. You're removing Caroline, Emma, and Jackson as well. The house, your savings, your investments, your personal property, none of it goes to them now. That's correct. You're establishing the Margaret Chen Caregiving Fund with $200,000. That's the neighbor who's been helping you. Yes, Margaret checks on me every single day, brings me meals, drives me to appointments. She's done more for me in the past 2 years than my own family has done in the past 10. Patricia nods and continues. You're leaving $150,000 to the Riverside Animal Shelter in memory of your late husband. Robert loved dogs. We always planned to volunteer there after he retired. Then he died, and I never went. But they do good work. You're establishing college scholarships in your name at the community college. $50,000 annually for students over the age of 50 returning to school. Education should be available at any age. And you're leaving your house, once sold, with the proceeds going to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. I nod. I've been reading about how many elderly people suffer from depression and anxiety because of isolation, because their families forget about them. Maybe this can help someone. Patricia sets down the papers. Martha, this is your right. It's your money and your property, but I have to ask one more time. Have you considered leaving them even a small amount, or personal items? Sometimes that can... No, my voice is firm. Do you know what I'm leaving them, Patricia? I'm leaving them the same thing they left me on my birthday. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They'll get exactly what they gave me. Seems fair, doesn't it? She studies my face for a long moment, then nods. Then let's sign it. We sign. Patricia's secretary and another attorney from the firm come in to witness. It takes 15 minutes. When it's done, Patricia puts the original in her office safe and hands me a copy. This is legally binding as of now, she says. The previous will is void. I take the copy and hold it carefully. This document, these pages, represent the only power I have left, the power to decide who benefits from my death. It's a grim kind of power, but it's mine. Thank you, Patricia. Martha, she says as I'm leaving. For what it's worth, I think you're incredibly brave, and I'm sorry that your birthday was so painful. I smile at her. You know what? It was painful, but it was also clarifying. Sometimes pain burns away everything until all you can see is the truth. And the truth is that I've spent decades confusing obligation with love. They're not the same thing. That afternoon, I receive a text from David. Mum, we need to talk. Can we come over? We're back from the trip. Emma wants to give you your birthday present. I text back. Come by Wednesday at 2 p.m. He responds immediately. Why not today? Why Wednesday? Wednesday works for me. I don't explain. Let him wonder. Tuesday, I spend organizing, going through closets, making lists. I put aside some photo albums and jewelry that I'll give to Margaret to distribute to anyone who might want them after I'm gone. Not because I'm planning on dying soon, though at 80, it's not like I have decades left, but because I want things in order. I take David's baby photos out of the frames in the hallway. I pack them in a box and put the box in the basement. I don't want to look at his face right now. That little boy who used to crawl into my lap and fall asleep. That child who told me I was the best mummy in the whole world. I don't know where that boy went, but the man who replaced him is a stranger. Wednesday morning, I'm nervous. I haven't been nervous in years. My hands shake when I pour my coffee. This isn't arthritis. This is anticipation. At 1:45 p.m., I position myself in the living room where I can see the driveway through the window. I'm wearing my good slacks and a nice blouse. I put on lipstick. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it with dignity. At 1:58 p.m., their car pulls into the driveway. It's a new SUV, expensive, German make, probably $50,000. I helped them buy their last car 6 years ago, gave them the down payment, $15,000. I wonder if they remember that when they signed the papers on this one. All four of them get out. David looks tired. Good. Caroline looks annoyed. Even better. Emma and Jackson look like typical teenagers, checking their phones, not wanting to be here. I watch them walk up the path. David has a key out already. He's going to try to just walk in like he always does. Like this is still his house too. Like he has a right to be here. I wait. I hear the key slide into the lock. Hear him turn it. Nothing happens. The lock doesn't turn because it's not the same lock anymore. He tries again. I can hear the frustration in how he jiggles it. That's weird, I hear him say, muffled through the door. Key's not working. Caroline says something I can't make out. He knocks. Mum, my key's not working. Can you let us in? I wait another moment. Let him knock again. Then I walk slowly to the door. I open it, but I leave the chain on. Just enough gap to see them standing on my porch. Just enough to speak through. Hello, David? Caroline? Emma? Jackson? David's face floods with relief. Mum, thank God. My key's not working. Did you change the locks? Yes. There's a pause. I can see him processing this. Why would you change the locks? Because I wanted to. Caroline steps forward. She's always been pushy. Martha, this is ridiculous. Let us in. We need to talk to you. We brought your birthday present. You can leave it on the porch. David's expression shifts from confusion to something like concern. Mum, what's going on? Are you okay? Are you feeling all right? I'm feeling better than I have in years, actually. Then why won't you let us in? This is crazy. We drove all the way over here. From where? Disney World? Silence. Absolute silence. I watch the color drain from David's face. Caroline's mouth opens slightly. Emma looks at her phone, suddenly very interested in the screen. Mum, we were going to explain. Explain what? How you told me you had the flu. How you couldn't possibly make it to my 80th birthday because you were all so terribly sick. But somehow you were well enough to fly to Florida and spend a week at the most crowded theme park in the country. Mum, did you think I wouldn't see? Did you think I don't know how to use Facebook? Or did you just not care whether I saw? Which is worse, David? I honestly can't decide. Caroline jumps in, her voice tight. Martha, you're taking this the wrong way. We had this trip planned for months. We'd already paid for everything. We couldn't just cancel. But you could cancel on me. It's not the same thing. You're right. It's not the same. You lost money on your Disney trip. What would you have lost by keeping your promise to me? An afternoon? One evening? What's that worth to you, Caroline? Apparently less than Mickey Mouse ears and overpriced churros. David runs his hand through his hair, a gesture I recognize from his childhood. He does it when he's caught doing something wrong. Mum, please. We made a mistake. We should have told you the truth. We should have been honest. But we're here now. Can we please come in and talk about this like adults? No. What do you mean, no? I mean, you're not coming in. This is my house. I decide who enters, and you are not welcome here anymore. Emma finally looks up from her phone. Grandma, that's so harsh. I look at her. 16 years old. I've put $96,000 into her college fund. When she was little, she used to spend weekends here. We'd bake cookies and watch old movies. I taught her to knit. For her 13th birthday, I took her to New York City for a weekend, just the two of us. We saw 3 Broadway shows. Emma, I say quietly, when was the last time you called me? Not texted, actually called. She blinks. I don't know. I've been busy with school. 6 months. It's been 6 months. You haven't called me in 6 months. But you had time for a week at Disney World. That's not fair. You're right. It's not fair. Nothing about this is fair. But life isn't fair, sweetheart. You'll learn that eventually. Jackson speaks up. He's 14. Tall for his age. Looks like his grandfather. Grandma, this is stupid. Just let us in. We said we're sorry. No, you didn't. Not one of you has apologized. David, you said you made a mistake. That's not an apology. An apology acknowledges harm. Acknowledges that you hurt someone. All you've acknowledged is that you got caught. David's face is reddening now. Anger replacing guilt. Fine. You want an apology? I'm sorry. We're all sorry. We're sorry we hurt your feelings. We're sorry we went to Disney instead of coming to your party. We're sorry. Can we please come inside now? I reach through the small gap in the door. I'm holding a manila envelope. The one Patricia gave me. It's a copy of the new will. Here. I think you should read this. David takes it, confused. What is this? It's my new will. The confusion deepens. Why are you giving this to us? Because you should know what's in it. Go ahead. Open it. He looks at Caroline. She nods. He opens the envelope and pulls out the papers. Starts reading. I watch his face as he processes the first page. Then the second. He flips faster, scanning. What the hell is this? It's my will. Everything I own. Where it goes when I die. There's nothing here for us. This says everything goes to charities, and your neighbor, and he looks up at me, his face pale now. You cut us out completely? Everything? Everything. You can't do this. I can, actually. Patricia Winters is a very good attorney. It's perfectly legal. Caroline grabs the papers from him. She's reading fast, her lips moving. The house. Your house goes to some mental illness charity. Martha, this house should go to David. It's the family home. His childhood home. He should have thought of that before he chose Disney over me. Over one birthday. You're cutting us out of your entire estate over one birthday. It's not about one birthday, Caroline. It's about every choice you've made. Every time I've given and given and given, and you've taken and taken and taken. It's about the fact that I have poured hundreds of thousands of dollars into your lives, and you couldn't pour one day into mine. David's voice cracks. Mum, please. We can fix this. Tell us what you want. Tell us how to make this right. I want you to leave. We're not leaving until you let us in and we talk about this properly. Then I'll call the police and have you removed for trespassing. His eyes widen. You wouldn't. I pull my phone out of my pocket. Hold it up where he can see it. Try me. We stare at each other through the gap in the door. My son. My only child. The baby I carried for 9 months and raised for 18 years and supported for 30 more after that. And he's looking at me like I'm a stranger, like I'm the unreasonable one. Maybe I am. Maybe this is crazy. Maybe I should forgive them and let them in and accept their half-hearted apologies and go back to being the grandmother and mother who gives and never asks for anything in return. But I'm 80 years old and I'm tired. I'm so tired of being understanding, so tired of making excuses for people who don't value me, so tired of being convenient when it suits them and forgotten when it doesn't. Goodbye, David, I say quietly. I hope Disney World was worth it. I hope it was magical. I hope you made wonderful family memories, because those memories are all you're getting from me now. Mum, I close the door, turn the new deadbolt. Tom was right. It moves smoothly, clicks into place with a satisfying sound. I can hear them on the other side. David's voice, pleading. Caroline's voice, angry. The kids are silent now. Maybe they're starting to understand the consequences of actions. Maybe they're just embarrassed. I don't care anymore. I walk away from the door, back to my living room. I sit down in my chair, the one by the window where I can watch the birds at the feeder. Eventually they leave. I hear the car start, hear them drive away. The house is silent again, just me and the ticking clock. But this time the silence feels different. It doesn't feel lonely. It feels peaceful. That evening, Margaret comes over with dinner. She made her famous lasagna. We eat together and watch Jeopardy. And when I get an answer right before the contestants do, she laughs and claps. "You're sharp as ever, Martha," she says. And I am. I'm sharp enough to know what I deserve, sharp enough to recognize love from obligation, sharp enough to know that family isn't about blood, it's about showing up. 3 weeks later, I get a letter in the mail. It's from David's attorney. They're contesting the will. They claim I wasn't of sound mind when I made the changes. They're going to fight it. Let them fight. Patricia says we'll win. I was examined by a doctor the day before I signed. Cognitive tests, the whole thing. I'm completely sound of mind. The will is ironclad. They can contest all they want. They can spend their money on lawyers. Maybe that will finally teach them the value of money, when it's their own instead of mine. I'm sitting in my living room right now, the same chair by the window. It's been 2 months since my 80th birthday. 2 months since I changed the locks and changed my life. People at church whisper. People in town talk. I'm sure I'm the subject of gossip over coffee and at book clubs. Did you hear about Martha Henley? Cut her whole family out of her will. Over a birthday party, can you imagine? Let them talk. They don't know the full story. They don't know what it feels like to realize that the people you've sacrificed everything for wouldn't sacrifice a single day for you. But here's what I do know now. At 80 years old, what I wish I'd learned at 40 or 50 or even 70, you teach people how to treat you. Every time you accept less than you deserve, you're telling them that's all you're worth. Every time you make excuses for their bad behavior, you're enabling it to continue. I spent 50 years enabling, making excuses, being understanding, putting their needs and wants before my own. And where did it get me? Alone on my 80th birthday while they posed with cartoon characters. No more. I'm not sitting here feeling sorry for myself. I'm not crying into my coffee. I'm actually happy. Happier than I've been in years, because I finally put myself first. I finally valued myself as much as I valued everyone else. And it turns out that's not selfish, that's survival. Margaret and I are planning a trip. We're going to Santa Fe in the spring. She's always wanted to see the art galleries. I'm paying for both of us because I want to, not because I have to, not because someone's guilting me or manipulating me or making me feel like I owe them, but because Margaret has been a true friend. And friends take care of each other. The Riverside Animal Shelter sent me a thank you letter for the donation they'll receive. They want to name the new adoption center after Robert and me. The Henley Hope Center, they're calling it. Robert would have loved that. The community college called about the scholarship. They've already identified the first recipient, a 53-year-old woman going back to school to become a nurse after her husband left her. She cried when they told her, said it was going to change her life. That's what money should do. Change lives. Make things better. Not fund Disney vacations for people who can't be bothered to show up when it matters. If you're watching this, and you've got family members who take advantage of you, who expect you to always give while they only take. I want you to hear this. You deserve better. You deserve people who show up, who value your time as much as you value theirs, who understand that love is a verb, not a noun. It's action, not just a word you say. And if you're someone who's been taking advantage of a parent or grandparent or any family member, if you've been treating them like a bank instead of a person, let me tell you something. One day, you're going to regret it. One day, they're going to be gone, and no amount of guilt or belated apologies will bring them back. No amount of, "I'm sorry," will undo the birthdays you missed, or the calls you didn't make, or the love you didn't show. So if you've got people in your life who've sacrificed for you, who've given you everything, show up for them. Not when it's convenient, not when you need something, but when they need you. Because that's what family means. That's what love means. My 80th birthday was supposed to be a celebration. It was supposed to be surrounded by the people I love, looking back on a life well lived, looking forward to whatever time I have left. Instead, I spent it alone with a cake I bought myself. But you know what? That wasn't the worst birthday of my life. That was the day I woke up. That was the day I stopped being a doormat and started being a person who knew her worth. And if given the choice between a room full of people who don't value me and a quiet house with my dignity intact, I'll choose dignity every time. They wanted Mickey Mouse. They got him. And I got my self-respect back. Worth it. If this story resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Whether you're the one being taken advantage of or the one doing the taking, this message is for you. Family means showing up. Remember that. My name is Martha Henley. I'm 80 years old, and I'm finally living for myself.